Good science morning. A bit chilly here today, but looks like it's going to be beautiful out. Attached is a video about a specific type of instrument that can measure elements, heavy metals. It's got a really good explanation, good walkthrough of how the instrument works. What I noted was his explanation of the interactions. Basically, this thing shoots an energy beam out, same as an X-ray machine does. And what bounces back, the machine can look at very, very well. And through some very sophisticated software algorithms, determine what the composition of metals are, what type of metal, if it's a high-grade stainless steel or low-grade or whatever the metals are. It has some weaknesses. He talked to a little bit. They've come a long way since the example that he's using in his demonstration and talk through. So it's really amazing. This is to give you an idea of what we can do with simple handheld instruments. This is what my instrument, my lab instrument, a $500,000 piece of equipment and lab that it would need to run in. So just a bit interesting. Now, here's where I think he missed inside the presentation. But it actually wasn't a miss. It's too complicated. He's speaking about a very specific frequency of photons. But he kind of ignores the frequency conversation. He refers to it as energy. And the energy of a photon is defined by its frequency because it has no mass, which is another conundrum for us, right? But photons don't have mass. All their energy is in the frequency of the photon, the color of the photon that your eyes would see. In this case, it's photons that your eyes cannot see because your eyes can't detect that color of light, that frequency of light. Other detectors can. So, interesting detector, just a good piece and a walk through the science. But what I think he missed was that frequency connection. The frequency of the photons defines what they can interact with. It actually ties back into molecular size or atomic size. Now, if you look at where he's stepping through, how the electrons go through, or the photons go through electron orbitals and strike inner orbitals. Part of that is that's the Bohr's model of electrons in an atom, and there's another model that might better fit how you would talk to this and the frequency meaning, how you would determine where that energy could impact inside the orbitals of electrons. Because electron orbitals are not round. We drew them round for simplicity and education's sake, and then we learned some more later. So that frequency stuff is important. I am amazed how many people don't understand the relevance of that. He actually talked by it. He didn't speak too much to why that particular frequency interacted with specific shells, as we term them, inside an electron's orbitals. This thing went inside, past the outer orbitals, and struck an inner particle without affecting the outer. Now, the outer orbitals were affected because of the spring effect of losing an electron. That's what it did. It ejected an electron from an inner shell, creating an imbalance in the material that could have affected other things, or bonding energies and things like that. Could have changed the polarity of a molecule, is example. So this is a short ramble. The video is much better. Watch that one if you like techie stuff. But pay attention to how he's explaining the photons' interactions with electrons and the energies released from the electrons changing orbitals. Keep in mind that the only time a photon is emitted is when an electron is put into a lower shell. a photon of light at a specific frequency is generated, and we can look for those. So he missed the frequency key. That's huge inside of this, the interactions, but it also doesn't matter because he described it effectively and well. So, pieces out. Hope I can find that video, and I'll paste it below. Pieces. And out.